Hey, my name is Kim. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a week of dinners. Very simple things. We've been busy and hot and tired with it being summer. So we've got a couple leftover nights, a couple very simple sort of meals. Yeah, if that interests you, please keep watching.
On Monday, I just made some sloppy joes. I sort of made up this recipe, but I just did a pound of ground beef, a chopped onion. I have some seasonings here, such as garlic powder, salt, pepper. I have some brown sugar, mustard, and a little bit of ketchup. I think I also added a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, and I have started adding lentils to my ground beef mixture as well. And I just let them cook down a bit, and it helps the mixture hold together better, so my kids actually prefer it this way. I also made some fries, and this was the finished mixture. And here is my plate.
We went into Superstore to grab, I was out of sugar somehow, so I grabbed that. And the kids saw this and begged me for it. And so for $3, we had this cake for dessert. I am making some sourdough discard crackers. I have never tried this, but I've seen a lot of people talk about it. So you just do butter, sourdough discard, salt, and then herbs. And I'm gonna do, it said to mix the herbs right in. I'm gonna sprinkle them on top. I'm gonna put the garlic in the mixture. And then I want to do some with everything bagel and some with rosemary. I don't know if rosemary and everything bagel will taste very good together. So yeah, you just mix that, spread it out. I'm gonna use my cake frosting thing for that. And yeah, I will let you know how it turns out. Okay, so my lighting is so bad in here. I don't even know why. I have the salt spread out. I'm gonna put a little bit more salt on top. And then half of it, I'm gonna do everything bagel seasoning. And then the other half, I'm gonna do rosemary. And then that goes in for 10 minutes. You take it out and you score it. And then you put it back in for another 20. Okay, so that is going in. Okay, so they got slightly overdone, I think. So I think next time I'll do 10 minutes and then 15 minutes. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see how they taste. Okay, so they're definitely like super crunchy like crackers. I'll take a bite so you can hear. Okay, not that one. Here's another one. So the dark ones are actually really good. So I'll see what everyone else thinks, but I like them. I think I would make these again. I'm definitely gonna write down this recipe. Okay, again, the lighting is awful today, but it's super hot, but it's also about to rain, so it's just terrible today. Anyways, here's our really simple dinner. I don't usually buy pre-made things, but the last couple times I've gone to Costco, I've bought these pot pies because they are huge. Like, this is 1.2 kilograms, so that's massive. And they're only $10.99, and this can sometimes last us 2 meals if we have a smaller portion. So definitely a good deal for us. Even if we eat the entire thing for a meal, really not bad at all. All right, so it is Wednesday. We're having a very simple dinner tonight. We still have half of that pot pie left, so we're gonna have that. So a little bit of sloppy joe mix for kids who want that. And then for kids who won't eat either of these, I'm making some mac and cheese. The only thing is, I thought I had a box of mac and cheese left and I don't. So I'm just using some of these shells that I bought for pasta salad. I'm just gonna boil those. And then I am just adding shredded cheese to it. And that's sort of how I'm doing mac and cheese. And yeah, that's dinner tonight. So my mom was an ingredient mom, and this is how she always used to make mac and cheese. Maybe I should start doing it the same way. Honestly, it does not look so good. It's literally just butter and shredded cheese. Melted, yeah. Super tasty. All right, so there's everyone's plates. 13-year-old, 12-year-old, 4-year-old, 7-year-old, and mine. I'm just gonna mix this sloppy joe mix into the last little bit of mac and cheese. And yeah, that's dinner for Wednesday.
On Thursday, I did something slightly different, and I made some smash burger tacos. So I just seasoned my pound of ground beef with my chipotle mango seasoning. I have some tortillas here. This is a street corn salad, so it has mayo, cilantro, chipotle, and a little bit of lemon juice, I think. And yeah, I think that's all that's in there. And then I made a mango salsa with some frozen mango, chipotle, lemon juice, and tomato. I then pressed the beef against the tortillas and fried them just like this here. I got 8 out of that pound of ground beef. I put cheese on some of them, and this is what they looked like when they were done. Here's my 4-year-old's plate here. This was my 13-year-old's. 12-year-old's. He has peanut butter on his quesadillas because he doesn't do meat or cheese. This was my almost 8-year-old's. And this was mine. This was probably my favorite meal of the week. It was so good. And then we just had a little bit of ice cream.
We found kittens in our backyard a couple weeks ago, and we ended up trapping them after feeding them for a couple weeks. Then we ended up trapping them and bringing them in. So now we're taking care of them until they're socialized enough to go to new homes. So this we're calling Moo. This is Simba. I think we're probably gonna keep Simba. These two are definitely the craziest. And then we've been calling, I think this one's female, pretty sure this is male. I think the last 2 I showed you were male as well. Pretty sure my grandma will be taking this one. She's always wanted an orange cat, and if so, she wants to name him Ginny. She wanted a female cat, but it's hard to find female orange cats. And this we've just been calling Tabs, because every time I see her, I just think, hey Tabby. So we've been calling her Tabs. And then there's one more kitten who's hiding under my bed who we need to get and set up in the bigger crate. All right, it is Friday. We are doing microwave nachos for dinner. So I'm going to start by making a salsa. I have a salsa seasoning mix, some tomatoes, and cilantro for that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of lemon juice. It seems to work just as well as lime juice, in my opinion. I've got chips here, bacon bits, black beans. I'm going to drain this can of corn, some peppers, and then cheese. And so I'm just going to build everyone's nachos and just microwave them. All right, so I've got everything ready. I have cheese. I had to do a mix of mozzarella and cheddar because we were running low on cheddar. Beans, chips, tomatoes, peppers, bacon bits, corn, and the homemade salsa. And I might show a plate when I'm done making it. But yeah, that's dinner for Friday.
All right, so here's the 12-year-old's. He doesn't do meat or cheese. My 13-year-old's. And this one here is mine.
One more little shot of the kittens. There's the one that was hiding on us. We've got them. Little cuties.